Okay, welcome everybody, and welcome especially Clyde, the first founder of Chia NFT marketplace, and also now the founder of XCH Foundation and the partner of CO8. He's very active member, leader actually. I want to say in Chia ecosystem. So today we are very honored to have him here to introduce his knowledge about the NFT, especially in Chia. And also welcome our translator and also Chia Chinese community director, Mr. Jin. Welcome everyone. Okay, let's start. So first question. Clyde, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, most certainly. And I just realized that the script I sent over to you, somehow I missed out those first two questions. So I'm sorry those were missing.
No problem.
My name is Clyde. As you know, I'm working with NFTr. You can sign up for early access on NFTr.pro. I'm also working with the XCH Foundation and the Crew of 8. And I have more than 10 years of experience with startup companies, mainly focused in high-tech industries. And most recently, I've worked in the UAV industry, where I got to speak as the drone legislative expert at the Durango Technology Conference. More recently, I received a CompTIA Networking Plus certification, so I am a certified network engineer. And that spurred my interest in Web3 and blockchain technologies. The blockchain technologies have the base security that we try to bring to the rest of the internet. And I learned about Chia just before mainnet launch, and that really started my journey into the Chia ecosystem and joining the community.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's very long history of your startup in different high technology companies, and that's very good background for you to understand Web3 and blockchain and even Chia. That's very good experience, I think. So yeah, you started from the mainnet before the mainnet of Chia, but when do you focused on NFT?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I started with Chia just before transactions went live on mainnet. And I was fascinated by the technology, especially the programming language Chia Lisp. So I dove in headfirst into Chia Lisp. In September of this last year, I was a finalist in the Serious Labs hackathon for submitting a development environment called Rhizosphere.
Yeah.
While a finalist at the Serious Labs hackathon, I met Andreas Acevale, who is from Mint Garden that you guys had on your previous AMA. And Acevale and I formed at that time what was called XCH.Gallery, which was the first NFT marketplace on Chia. Andreas did the vast majority of the coding behind it, and I focused on building the community and forming strategic partnerships. This partnership really immersed me in NFTs on Chia at a time when there weren't NFTs as we see them for profile pictures and other types of digital assets. And that was really my start into the NFT journey. Since then, I've separated ties with Mint Garden, and I'm now working with Grig on NFTr.pro.
Clyde, before that, you touched NFT on Chia. Have you ever had other NFT assets in like Ethereum or Polygon or Behance?
I was exposed from a trading and collecting standpoint, but I did not do any development for NFTs on any other blockchain before Chia.
What's the special features of Chia NFT? It's so attractive to you.
Yeah, Chia really has three robust features that make it unique. There are royalties baked into the chain, provenance that is secured by digital identities, and permanence that is enhanced by additional URIs. The royalties that are baked into the chain is very unique because that means that the royalties are marketplace agnostic, whereas on Ethereum, you can go to a different marketplace to circumvent royalty payments. On Chia, that can't happen. They're going to be secured for the creator on every transaction. And Chia NFTs, relying on decentralized identities, allow users to affirm their identity in a decentralized way that's similar to affirmations on Keybase. These DIDs also allow users to recover their assets even if they lose their private keys. So there is a recovery mechanism in case you lose that 24-word mnemonic. The closest concept to this in Ethereum are the soul-bound NFTs, but soul-bound NFTs are restricted to the single individual and don't have those additional features of recovery. And we're also going to see in the future clawback, as well as some other multi-sig and really interesting custody solutions. Chia NFTs also allow their current owner to add an additional URI or URL that points to the particular file for the digital asset. This means that you don't have to worry about the original creator continually hosting the file. You can yourself host it, or you can even add it to IPFS. And this is validated by the file hash itself, so you know you're getting the proper file every time. On Ethereum, the NFT owners generally have to rely on the original creator and the original file storage location, which we've seen in the past that can change or sometimes break, and you lose access to your entire NFT or your digital asset.
Okay, I have additional questions, two questions for this section. First, about the DID, because it's kind of digital decentralized identity for a customer, but can I have more than one DID for one person? And
yes, yes.
how to identify I am myself?
Yeah, you will be able to have more than one identity, more than one digital identity, so that you can say, have a different digital identity on each of the NFT marketplaces, or use them for different features. Identification, the affirmations, will be similar to Keybase. So you'll have a certain message that is produced, and you'll sign it on a different platform. That allows anybody to validate that this particular DID is connected to this social network. That DID can also be updated with metadata to contain that affirmation.
You mean the DID metadata are stored on Chia blockchain?
Correct. The DID metadata is stored on the Chia blockchain, and that DID owner can update that metadata with these different identity affirmations.
Update in the Chia wallet, it says profile. Is that the description of your DID?
Correct, correct. The profile is the first step towards the DID concept.
Yeah, and if I lost my keywords, and so that I can understand, I can find about my wallet back by my DID. Yeah.
Correct. And how that works is when you set up a DID, you can set up guarantors, a group of individuals that you elect and say, I trust these people to help me get back my DID. In addition to having them sign a spend bundle, you also provide a secret passphrase. So you essentially create a password with a multi-sig contract that allows you to get back your DID and transfer it to a new set of mnemonics.
Yeah, and one more thing is regarding to the storage of the NFT data. Yeah, we understand already. We can have more than one URI and URL, so we can store our images on different web servers. But is that something connect with Chia data layer or not, you think?
In the future, Chia does have plans to integrate data layer for NFT storage. But the one thing people have to keep in mind is that data layer still needs subscribers. So you might be storing all of your NFTs on data layer, but you need subscribers to make sure that that data is being redundantly stored in multiple places. And this is somewhat similar to IPFS storage with pinning, where in IPFS, if nobody is pinning your particular file, then your file might disappear because it is no longer being stored on another device. One cool thing about data layer, though, is that it'll have the ability to reward people who are subscribing to that data layer table. So if somebody subscribes to help store these NFT assets, then maybe they receive a cat every time they update their database. But data layer is still in beta phase for the Climate Warehouse project, and likely that's going to continue until the end for the next 2.5 months. After that, we're going to see a more final version of data layer available.